Good morning, good Chodesh, welcome. We're on the last mimer of Parshas Kairach. We're in the middle, excuse me, and we're talking about the stick of Aaron, which was used as a indicator or a proof of the validity of Aaron HaKohen, and that Hashem chose him as opposed to Moshe. Kairach's argument was Moshe took everything for himself. He's the king. He appointed his brother to be the Kohen Gadol, and not the way it should be. And besides, everyone's holy, and so on and so forth. So Moshe Rabbeinu said, we should all bring a stick, a staff, see what happens. And Aaron's blossomed into almonds. Why almonds? Almonds is the quickest nut to sprout, really the quickest fruit from any type of fruit or produce, grain and so on, to sprout. From when you start till it's already coming out, it is 3 weeks, 21 days. And it shows us the idea of speed, of quickness, of not getting stuck. The concept is that Aaron HaKohen has the same letters as Nir'eh, which means to see, is seen, which is a revelation. Because what we're trying to do, what Aaron accomplishes, is that things should not get stuck. A lot of times something could exist, but it's not revealed. They want it to be revealed. We explain this by the concept of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, everything is predestined or decided for you. And then the whole year, you're davening to Hashem every day that I should have health, every day that we should have a livelihood, and so on and so forth. What are you davening for? It's already been decided. It's either is or isn't. It's done. And the answer in short is that it has to come down from a spiritual state to a physical manifestation of that. And along the way, it could, Chas v'Shalom, get stuck. And that's the davening, is that we should merit to receive it. We left off by a machlekes between different opinions in Chazal of is Rosh Hashanah a day of judgment altogether, or is it really every day? And it's clear from the back and forth and the other psukim that allude to various proofs that everyone agrees on some level it does exist on Rosh Hashanah. And then we're also judged every day, or we're judged if we're worthy to receive it, or we're judged if it should come down. But there's these two parts to it. So quick, haste, shaked, shkedim, almonds, is about coming down quickly, not getting stuck. Right? Speed is not just the amount of time; it's also the lack of procrastination or getting stuck. So column number 2, which is Daf Daled on page 110. Mashma, thank you. The Osi Vadai, the Kuliyama. It seems from here, from the various different Maimari Chazal, that it's absolute. It goes for sure, for certain, according to all opinions. The Einbaz Shum Machlekes. There's no argument here. And nonetheless, even though everyone agrees without argument that Rosh Hashanah is Day of Judgment, because we say Malchei Zechanis and Shofars, because of the psukim that are alluding to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Adin and so on, but they also agree that every person, or that a person is judged every day. As it's explained, also according to Rabbanan, which is the majority, the Fligia Rabbi Yosef Reb Nosson, which they argue on Rabbi Yosef Reb Nosson, Harigamli did who also according to them in cancer. Therefore, you have to say that the B'china of Din shaykh every day is shaykh every day, meaning it applies to every day the concept of judgment. Because we do request everything in Shemona Esrei, 18, which really is 19 brachas. Afgam the Rabbanan, also according to Rabbanan, Kimvur B'Gemara Perakam the Shabbos. It's also based on what we explained, that the dialogue here is not is there judgment, but what is the judgment for? And everyone agrees that it's about, not because it wasn't judged initially, but it shouldn't get stuck on the way down.
What's Machlekes Rabbi Yossi and Rabbanan?
Is Rosh Hashanah a day of judgment or not?
Yeah.
But it's not really Machlekes. In the end, everyone agrees that there's judging every day as well, because for the answer that we gave. Ukvar herich was a gamken. Baal Moir. It's a source. I'm not sure what this IMM is. Okay. Again, there is judgment that happens every day, and there's judgment in Rosh Hashanah. It's not happening again. It's just about it coming down. So we're looking for shkeda, where it's just flows, it comes down. There's no holdings on the way down. Vine ashpa chesed zed, ashpa of this chesed, whom is akev v'shoyeh, it holds on, it gets stuck and waits, ad shenimshach u'bolamata, until it comes down here. So we already have the ashpa, the yid davened, he's worthy, Hashem judged him, and it's coming. But it got stuck. Sharei b'chol hishtalshlos mehechol lehechol, because in every flow, from chamber to chamber, from level to level, from sphera to sphera, hu al yedei mishpat, it happens through a judgment. What are they judging? Who is this person deserving? Sheyumshach hashpa lemata, that the hashpa should come down. And they review, they look in his judgment well. And someone comes along, which is the Satan, the other angels, and so on, and they're mekatreg, they prosecute, and they say, he's not befitting for it. So he earned it. For whatever reason, Hashem gave it to him. But there's now another step. Does he deserve that it should actually come down in reality? Or is it going to remain in some form of Gan Eden? There's a certain gilu that this person has because there's a delight that comes from chesed. It just didn't come down. It's going to be for Gan Eden.
Is that based on his action, or it's a predestined chesed?
The second part or the first part?
It's chesed. Either one.
The initial one is not. It could be predestined, but it's a judgment. That Hashanah is the Yom Adin. So let's go with not predestined. It's a judgment. But there's a second tier of the judgment, is when is it going to be given to him? Is he getting it right away? So now it has to go from Atzilus to Bria. There's now a judgment. Should it go or not? Or maybe he messed up. The verdict was given on Yom Kippur. He's getting $1 trillion, right? Or $2 trillion. And then sometime in the end of December, where technically he has a certain deal that's coming through, all of a sudden the whole thing's in the balance. Because the question is, Rosh Hashanah was great, but since then he was whatever else he was doing, maybe he doesn't deserve it. So do both.
Rosh Hashanah we only daven so that we should have it, and then the rest of the year it should come down.
We daven that it should come down, but it still has to come down. And on the way of coming down, there's at every juncture, there's a prosecutor that comes and says maybe he doesn't need it.
The trick is to feed him an almond.
There you go, chocolate covered. Okay. Let's get the parentheses. But when the light and the shefa does come down, through Aren, and from his branch or his trunk. You ever heard the term gezhe? There are people that use the term gezhe, saying that not only is he a chassid, but his grandfather's grandfather. So I think it's more like a trunk. Or branch. Huh?
I always wondered why they look a little bit like elephants.
Those chassidim. There you go. But when it comes through when the light and shefa of Aaron, but when the light and shefa comes through Aaron, and from his descendants, his branch, his trunk, the kohenim which do brachas kohenim, neisim yidei means they lift their hands. That's what they do by brachas kohenim, lift up their hands. And they bench the nation by brachas kohenim. Then when the kohenim get involved, then the shefa comes quickly throughout all the worlds, without anyone holding it back and stopping it. They don't check his judgment at all. You got the green light, it's going. Well, 1 second, is he worthy, is he not? Well, that's normal. When the kohenim get involved, Aaron and his descendants, he's giloi, they don't check. Does he deserve it? 1 second, just keep going.
What's the difference between Maineh and Ma'akev?
Manea is stronger. It stops it. Like it blocks it. Ma'akev it holds it up. It's not Ma'akev is not as strong. If you ever dealt with bureaucracy, in Russia, it's very common. Every step, you may have the okay, but there's a lot of other people that have to be smeared along the way, and each one of those people have to get paid. So there's an inspector, there's a local, there's a higher local. Every step they have the ability to say no, just because it doesn't like. However, the concept is that if the kohen does it, then it's green light all the way through and nothing stops.
Heavenly kickback.
Heavenly
bribe. Kilo lavdol.
There is a sikha, the Rebbe, but regarding Rosh Hashanah, that if you look at some of the davening, it sounds like we're bribing Hashem.
Mm-hmm.
Or we tell Hashem, be nice to us. And he says, you're not allowed to bribe. Hashem said not to bribe, he can't take bribes himself. So I can't argue with heavenly bribing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Similar to what it says regarding the pasuk, Hashem did not want to listen to Bilam. What was Bilam's method to get the Yidden to be cursed, or that Hashem should do something to the Yidden? He tried to find some kind of prosecution against the Yidden. Of course, Hashem promised them. Of course, all this stuff, but it didn't happen yet. So now let's break it. But Hashem did not listen to him. Why? Because Hashem loves you. And because of the Ava for Hashem, he didn't let it happen. Now, Koyanim, we know, have Chesed, which is Ava. When you go through the branch of Ava, you have less judgments. Once you got it, you got it. If you don't like the person and you're looking at ways out, then you can find all different stops along the way, the what-ifs and the hypotheticals. 1 second. It's in law. It's the whole world of law, right?
That's right.
There's all these sub disclaimers.
It's a great Mexican comedian making a joke in Mexican bureaucracy that this guy's been going for 20 years, this old man, to try and get his passport out of the country, And the bureaucrat finally tells him, you come back with your death certificate, I guarantee you'll have it.
It's actually a very good one. And that's what the Kohanim bench, and they say, what's the Ava? Ava implies that there's no blocking. Okay, we got it, run. Wait, let's see. I don't have to see anything. I love him, we're doing it. So again, the point is that Aaron HaKohen has this ability to reveal things, which means take what already exists and make it manifest itself in Gashmis. And his descendants have the same thing. It happens through Ava. When there's Ava, just like by Bilam, the reason why Hashem didn't listen to Bilam's arguments, and maybe he had some valid arguments, is because he's using Ava. We don't have to change. We already agreed we're in. But it's a Chiddush, and we need something to make that happen. We could also say, says the Alter Rebbe, the explanation of the pasuk, we say in davening, who sends, he, meaning Hashem, who sends his word, aretz, to earth, whatever that word is, there should be health, there should be livelihood, and so on. Ad mehera yaretz devarai, until, meaning, including, quickly, mehera, speed. Yaretz devarai, his words run.
That's so interesting. It's like the word "aretz" is like I run. As I'm saying, I run towards you.
So Yaretz is running. Aretz is, in this case, Eretz means land, but yeah, the same root word. Idea is, Hashem is sending a message down here. He wants something to happen. He's also hastening it. The Pirush HaSheleach, what's the Pirush of Sheleach? The one who sends. When the Shefa comes down, slowly, and gradually, and with slowness. It means like very calculated. Usually it's used in a positive way. It's very thorough. We're going from this stage to this stage. Don't rush it. We'll finish 1. We'll get to 2. We're going to get there. But when you say that it goes quickly, that's when the shefa goes quickly, as we mentioned before. It's a scary thing, because what it means is there is a perfectly fine way where a person does everything he has to do. He gets a judgment on Rosh Hashanah. Everything is fine, but it doesn't happen for some side reason. It happens in a spiritual sense. It happens in Gan Eden. It happens, Hashem says it happens, right? But in davening, we say Ashelechem Rasei Aretz from David HaMelech, right? That he sends his word to the earth, which could mean the normal manner, which is slow. And then Ad Mehera Yoretz Levarei, it's very quickly. Then we come to Shemar Esrei, we ask for it again. I know it's mine. I want to get it. See what it says about this in another place. See in Medrash, in Parshas Veschanon, Yesh Tefillah Shenenis LaArbaim Yom Chulu. Moshe Rabbeinu davened 515 times. He wants to go into Eretz Yisrael. The Medrash over there says that there's some tefillahs which are answered after 40 days. You have certain types of davening that gets answered after 20 days. I'm assuming 20 days means 20 consecutive days of davening for it. And there is a tefillah which gets answered in one day. There's another davening, etc. I guess it's instant. It says regarding the Megillah that Achashverosh met Haman at night, came to convince him to hang up Mordechai on the gallows, and he told him, I have an old debt. I have to honor somebody. What should I do? And he gave him the whole description, right? Put him on royal clothing, put him on the horse, march him through the streets, parade him through the streets. So then Achashverosh tells Haman, okay, maher, quickly, which is the key here, quickly, kachas alvosh, take the garment, etc. So in the Maimer over there, he talks about this concept that it's so quickly you don't know the difference between Ar Haman and Baruch Mordechai because we're not getting stuck in details. Right? It's Achashverosh represents king, give it, and that's it. This is the idea of Berachas Kohanim. Yivarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. Hashem should bench you v'yishmerecha. Rashi says like this. Hashem should bench you with physical wealth. V'yishmerecha, he should protect you from listim, from thieves. So it's two stages. You should have the money, and two is that you should keep it, because it's like a half a blessing if you give it to somebody and then it's gone by the time he gets home. Hashem should bench you with money. He should bench you with children, sons. And he should guard you from harmful things. Call it harmful forces, demons, etc. What does this mean? That the chesed ayin comes forth immediately, as we're saying till now. In a physical sense, when the Medrash says Hashem should bench you with money and sons, what it means is it should be physical. You could touch it and feel it. It's real. It's not in some spiritual sense. Yo'er Hashem panov. Hashem should shine his face. Hanu ha'aras panim. V'chuneka, and he should find grace with you. Shenimshech lemata mata. It comes down low, meaning it actually comes down. The Rebbe very, very often gave brachas, and he would say, "B'toiv hanira v'anigla," good in a seen and revealed way, because there are many other types of good, and you can't argue them. I fulfilled what you said, but looking for something very specific. We don't want an explanation. We want real. The root for this reason. Why is it? We keep on saying Aaron is the one that does it, but what's the reason for it? Why is Aaron the one that has this ability? That through him comes down chesed in a quick way. Nothing is holding it back and stopping it. Because there are two types of chesed. Chesed olam v'rav chesed. There's something called chesed olam. Let's call it eternal chesed. and Rav Chesed, which means great Chesed. The Aaron Rav Chesed. Amshacha through Aaron is from Rav Chesed. Kanizker Apostle Ba'aleischa. Apostle goes to the Kedesh that Aaron's Chesed is Rav Chesed. Who Chesed should be Gvul. Chesed Olam, let's call it a world level of Chesed, has its limits, has its parameters. Aaron is a Chesed. His question is like this: Chesed is Chesed. The gifts that Hashem is giving us is coming from His Chesed. He's saying Aaron has Chesed, so He's bringing it down without any stopping. Hashem started it with Chesed also. How come that one could have a stop, this one can't? But there's two types of Chesed. There's Olam Chesed, Chesed Olam, and there's Rav Chesed. Because Aaron is Rav Chesed, as he has all these sources for it, which is Beli Gvul, Sheyere the Nimshach Apim Midaisa, which comes forth and flows onto his Midais. Ve'ein shum bechinas din sheyakvei klal. There is no level of judgment sheyakvei which will hold him back klal at all. We said in last time that we learned Zakan Aaron, the beard of Aaron, sheyere Apim Midaisa. Aaron is the idea of flowing, right? In that case, it was seichel flowing down through the beard, which is Yudgimot Konedikna. It's hair in general is taken from leftovers of Meichen, so it's able to extract very intellectual concepts, so to speak, and bring it onto a beard level because it's filtered so strong, it's still alive, but it's not the actual thing. Point is that Aaron, or the beard of Aaron, or something about Aaron represents flowing down. In this case, also, Aaron is bringing down the chesed. He's revealing it. However, when you deal with the other type of chesed, which is called chesed olam, yesh kinegde b'chinas din hama'akvay. You have a level of din which holds him back. Kindness of Hashem that they didn't stop. I don't know if anyone here remembers, but years ago there was a kid that got lost in a huge forest somewhere next to New York, or tri-state area.
Airman State Park.
That what it was? And the man was choir who made the song Chasdei Hashem. Chasdei Hashem Kilei Samnu. The kindness of Hashem they didn't stop. Basically, it was a major search effort, and they found it. And the elation that was felt, I remember all of us, was like tremendous. It was a long time. I forgot how long it was, but a long
93
time.
and 94.
No, but how long was he missing for?
Oh. I just know all the dance moves for the music video.
Very good. Okay. Point is that there's two types of chesed. There could be chesed chesed, which is nisakev, which is held up. It's coming, but it's not here yet. Or it's here in a spiritual sense. And the chesed, the Rav chesed, is a level of chesed which doesn't get stuck. The analogy for this is, for example, a very great river. The movement of the water is with intense vigor. You can't stop the flow, right? You have a strong river with a big current or intense current, you can't stop it. But in rivers that are not so great, it's not so big, you could stop the flow of the waters. You could create a dam through branches and earth, and similar things. You could eventually put a mill on top of it using the energy from the water, or bridges and so on. If the river is not such an intense flow, it just is, then you could work with it. You could stop the water. But in a very great river, it's not going to get stopped. There's no way you could stop it. Put branches, it'll just push the branch off. You don't have you can't stop the water. What's the mashal? Similarly, it's going to keep moving as it normally does. It'll wash away the trees, the offer, and the earth, which are holding it back. Similarly, this is the nimshal. From this level of Rav Chesed, the steps of Chesed, Chesed Olam and Rav Chesed, the Rav Chesed one is this mashal who heilech v'nimshach b'mirutza. it goes and flows with a running. It's on fire. The chola dinim misabrin misbatan mechamasei. And all of these dinin, usually misabrin means they have a pregnancy, which means they develop.
No,
I think here avra means they go over.
the hover means like the havara, like fire.
Avra, interesting. I don't think it's fire here. That's Levi. This is Aver. I think it means they go over. They become bottle from him. So, because you're dealing with Rav Chesed, it's like this river which is intense. Put any tree you want there, it's going to boom out of the way. Similarly, when you have Rav Chesed, the Chesed is flowing from Hashem. Nothing's stopping it. You want to come with a kitruk, Chas v'shalom, just boom, get out of here. It's mivatal the kitruk. Hashem said it's coming down. Aaron HaKoyin has the koyach to do that because he's coming with Rav Chesed. Regarding the pasuk game name Abia Imer, it says in Zayah there's two types of Yabia. Like he says, Maba is Abed Uhi Lisnara Da Min Da. Maba. I'm not sure what this means. How's your Aramaic today? Okay, I have to look into this. Okay, so Meva is quick. The targum of Chasidus Lama is Meva Sidus. Basically, you see from there, and this is the parenthesis, that there's a praise to Hashem about the days when he says things and they come about, meaning the concept of day, which is daily, that it happens quickly. So the Zohar also finds it important to express this concept that it could happen, but it's not quickly, which means it got stuck, which means there's a room for Ketrugim, Chas v'Shalom. And we're not looking for that. We're looking for Hashem's kindness to just flow through like a river, which nothing stops it. That on Shabbos the and Shefa comes forth. We say in Pasuk Chayil, right? That all of the dinin, which is judgments, they go away from this. Shabbos comes in, the kedusha of Shabbos pushes everything away. In a similar way, there's certain levels, in this case, Aaron HaKoyin and his descendants, that when something comes into play, when a kitru comes along and tries to challenge the judgment that Hashem said in a positive way, it doesn't allow it. It just pushes through. It's very strong. See more about this regarding Shkedim in Pasha Shmeis. There's a Shkida for good and better.
How's this being used? What does Shkida mean?
So Shkida is almonds.
Muta is better and Tov is just good.
Right, it's good and better. Yeah.
What does it mean? What does it mean in this context then?
Look in Yirmiyah. We brought earlier, beginning of the Maimer, we brought it for the example of Shkeda, meaning quickly. Okay, the simple meaning of Rashi tells us, the basic meaning, that the reason why it was almonds is because he wanted to show that Hashem is quick to punish. When someone messes with Aaron, Hashem's going to punish quickly. But quickly means something totally different, deeper. It means that things don't come down slowly. Yeah. Similarly, it says regarding Yosef interpreting Party's dreams, and he explained to him the reason why it happened twice, right? The cows and the stalks of wheat, is because it's appropriate. In other words, it's correct from Hashem, and he's going to do it. What do you mean quickly? Of course, he's going to do it. Not necessarily as a quickly. It could be in some spiritual sense. In the world of dreams, he has some cow, right? There's two there's the years of satiation, and also the opposite. See more about that. Point is, again, it's explained over there that Hashem does things quickly. Ushkedim the gabe mata arin like moshkedim haynek mamake oyin givach chasam tevim. And shkedim regarding mati arin about vayigmol shkedim that he bestowed shkedim is like we say kil oyin givach chasam tevim. The supernal God, he bestows good kindness. The pirush tevim aderech ha'er kitiv arin esis nira. What's not a good kindness? What does that mean? Because good kindness is the kind that doesn't get stuck. That can't even get stuck. And that is Aren, which is Nira. That the light should come down, that should be seen light. See what it says regarding Bechas Keinim about Mesameach Chasan. You can see the Ramaz Bashishlach. Also, two types of shefa. I guess that means a shefa that is like a river that just goes quickly and the one that does. This is a great introduction. Now let's do the mimer. Really, it's a short mimer. We can finish it today and tomorrow. It says that Aaron's staff sprouted and it bestowed or brought about shkedim, which was almonds, which is a sign that he's the legitimate one. We have to understand why dafke shkedim from all these things. We know the reason is because shkedim, they hasten to be ripe more than all the fruit, utvois, and produce. Like an oil, geffen, grapes, teina, fig, chulu, etc. The quickest one is almonds. They all wait around a long time. It takes a while, much longer than almonds, to ripen. The Medrash tells us this. What is the sign, the indicator of this almond? From the day that it starts until it's ripened, is Chaf Aleph Yom. It's only 21 days. So almonds are quick. That's why it's called shaked. You know that the words Lashon Kodesh of things are not just references, but they're indicators of, not just indicators, but they are descriptions of what it really is. The reason why it's called a shaked, because shaked means quick. And this is a fruit that comes quickly. Which is the idea of speed. Which goes to makal shaked. I am diligent on my words to do them.
What does makal mean?
Stick. Staff. That is a hint for kahuna that don't mess with it because I'm quickly going to clarify what's going on. What's kahuna got to do with this? Because Aaron is the same letters as Nira, which is seeing. Through Aaron HaKohen, who was vision, seeing. Through him, you had all the seeing, all the revelations, and the hamshachis of the great Eres, milmaila lemata, from higher to lower. See the end of the mimer where it says ki imcha meker chaim be'ercha, in your light is seen light, because you could have light that you don't see. It's a hidden light. We're not looking for that. We are looking. We're looking to see the hidden light. Get it? Okay. The hamshachis and hamshachim al yadei, the hamshachis which come through him, through Aaron, him hamshachim iruma mailis, they come from the highest levels, ad lemata till down here, and the key here is they come b'mehiros gedela, with a tremendous speed. B'li shum ikuvim. Speed means it's not getting stuck at all different stops, like an express train. It doesn't stop in all different ways along the way and has the potential of getting derailed. We say in benching, that the Eibush sustains the entire world, betuvay with his goodness, bechein with grace, bechesed with his kindness. What we're talking about here is that from Hashem's goodness and from his kindness should come about the higher world, his supernal, his higher chesed, comes about Hashpais Gashmiim. Now, in order for that to happen, that from Hashem's spiritual kindness, so to speak, should come physical manifestations of this kindness. This chesed has to come down with many levels until it will become thickened, which means manifest. What means in the spiritual world wealth could have different translations of it. In spiritual sense is one thing. The physical sense, something else. You want it to come down in the physical sense. And through Aaron, who is the level of seeing light, seeing means that it's Gashmi, meaning that the Hashpah of Chesed should come down quickly, it should not get stuck in the worlds. And the many stages, which must be, until it comes forth and gets revealed down here. Rather, it should go forth and flow through them without any type of stopping. Aaron is nira. You got to see it. See it means bring it down. Don't get stuck. I don't want explanations of what it is in some other level. We want the good that you could see. Okay, but technically, the Kabbalistic side of this is that certain things, there's a process, and the process is where the problem is, right? Because you want to take
your stalshalus to be too loose.
Yes, but we're saying we want it to be loose.
In a sense, you want it to be loose, but you don't want it to derail. That's why you need the chains to be in the proper order.
Right, but Aaron just comes to express.
There's enough Chasidus expression. The devil's in the details, so we want not that.
By the way, it's a very good point. That's where the problem happens.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because all these steps. Okay, what about this? What about that? Okay, no, we'll never get there. Paperwork. Similarly talks about that in the Ramaz. Therefore, why did we choose Aaron to prove his validity? We used Shkedim as a connection because Aaron is all about Shkedim. It's about quick. He doesn't get stuck. His name represents that because it's to see. It's revealing. His concept of his, we'll soon see about his chesed, but his concept is that things are quick. They don't get no procrastination over there. Get stuck in some detail and some other judgment, and on the way down, well, we got to Bria, but now there's the Yitzir, we got the Yitzir, there's still Asiya, there's a Gashmis. Every link, there's like, well, are we going to the next level or not going? Let's wait, let's take a break, and all these things. You need to understand this. It's another famous question. What's this idea? It's a famous question. Why are we davening every single day for the F.R.E.E? Why not? The main din of a person is on Rosh Hashanah. It's been taken care of already. Taisus and Shabbos asks this question. Why are we davening every day? It's done. And if it's not done, then what's Rosh Hashanah? The idea is, and the answer we give is, this that is written and sealed. He now has chesed on his neshama. Very good. And the chesed, that chesed, comes from Ein Sof. The chesed this person achieved in his din is in Malchus of Atzilus, which is probably a good place to come from because it's very high, right? But it's there now. Which is the source of the existence of the lower three worlds, Bria, Yitzir, Asiya. What does it mean? With his goodness, it's Hashem's kindness. It's a high chesed, it's like a spiritual chesed. It's much higher than the host of Gashmis the Kashbais. So it's all in those high levels. Like Avraham Avinu says, Avraham Avinu is chesed, right? And he says, I'm earth, I'm dust and ashes. He's referring to his chesed and his great ava. What's he saying? You can't compare my chesed, my great ava, to the real deal. He has no comparison to Chesed Atzilus. Or rather, all he is dust and ashes.
What about, isn't there Hayom Yom that Chesed came before Hashem and said Avram's reproof?
Very good, yeah. So he was doing more Chesed, but the level of Chesed, let's say it this way. Of course, Avram's Chesed was greater, but he was saying, I'm so humble, how could you compare my level of Chesed down here to that one? That level of chesed came along and said, he's actually doing it. But you're right. how could I say it's not comparable when the other side's complaining that you too much? Okay. Point is, Avraham Avinu is saying that the real deal is way higher than me. Therefore, in order to have the chesed of Atzilus, it should come from there. Physical ashpais. And chesed Atzilus is not physical. And that's where the judgment happened. And this person was given whatever he needs. Now it has to come down. Like bodily needs, meaning money in the bank, children, as he says, sons, it has to go forth and descend in the shtalshos of many levels. In chambers of Atzilus, Bria, Yitzira, Asiya. This is important until it becomes thickened. That it should be Hashem's kindness in physical things. What are they? Healing the sick and benching the years, which means livelihood. That's why Chazal say a person is judged every day. Is being judged based on his actions. Today is the judgment. Long sentence. Is he deserving and worthy that this chesed, which already was decided, so to speak, on his nefesh on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, is he deserving that it should come down? And it should go from level to level, from chamber to chamber, in order that it should come from spiritual to gashmis. That's the question. He has it already. So the answer to Tosfos' question of why do we daven every day and ask these things I already told you you're getting all these things in Rosh Hashanah. Done. Because we have them. But when are they coming down? Are they coming down? There's like a long journey, right? You don't have to get stuck in the mail. You're missing a stamp. You're missing a piece. You're missing this.
Shul is the spiritual ATM.
There you go. You have a card?
I do.
Need a pin?
No, so is he saying that like comes down only? Is it? I get the overall arc, but what precisely is he referring to though? I get the overall arc. He's saying that like it comes down a little bit by Rosh Hashanah, but then doesn't fully come down in daily tefillah.
No, it doesn't come down.